Good morning and welcome in. It is Wednesday, June 24th. We are 90 days out from September 22nd. The math on the mail that you get in the morning called the news is a little off. It is 90 days out from September 22nd. The DTD2, do the database too. Your simple reminder about who you should be chatting with. I said should. It's Wednesday. It's early. I shouldn't be shooting all over you, but here we are. It's a suggestion. It's a best practice. And it is. It's built out of a class called Never Ending Referrals. It was written by Steve Schlueter, great maps coach. And they said, let's just make a calendar. Let's just break it down. So, you know, you've got 13 weeks in a quarter, and you've got 26 letters in the current alphabet until they change it. They're going to. Somebody's feelings are going to get hurt. And that way we just drop 2 letters every day. Or every week for the 13 weeks, right? 13 weeks in a quarter, 2 a day, there's your 26. Then they said, you know what? We're talking about an interaction also being a text message. Let's add that. So then they roll through a letter that you can text as well. So you are calling your I's and your Q's, and you're texting your G's. It's Wednesday. It's action-packed. It always is here at beautiful downtown 463. Keller Williams, Coastal Lakes and Mountains. You have contracts today. So at 9 o'clock, if you don't have a license in Vermont, you could jump over to Breakthrough Club, KW Breakthrough Club. And in there, cameras on, microphones off. We're just doing lead gen. It's like a study hall. That's where you go and have a safe space to make your calls and do the things, right? It's just it's a room for accountability. Question for you. Do you have any room for accountability? I would argue we all do. So we made a space for it. It just makes life easier. When you don't have to think about it, you can just do it. So there's that. That's at 9 o'clock. Also at 9 o'clock, in person in Portsmouth, or also on the Zooms at kellertv.com, we have 3 hours of contracts. This week, you've got Vermont, or as our Spanish-speaking friends would say, Vermont. Vermont is at 9 o'clock. And that's in Portsmouth or on the Zooms. At 10 o'clock, as always, on most weeks, we have Maine. Maine is happening at 10, Portsmouth, Zoom, and then, of course, 11 o'clock, beautiful downtown New Hampshire contracts. So Vermont, Maine, and New Hampshire today in that order. If you have a license in all 3 of those states, I would encourage you to be available for all of those conversations. And I know you're thinking, my God, 3 straight hours of contracts. I have stuff to do. This is a practice of real estate and the understanding of the paperwork and making sure that we know, can you read it with the lights off upside down? That's my question, because that's where we need to be, our understanding of these contracts, so we can explain them and guide our civilian consumers through the conversation. It has to be near perfect. It's never going to be perfect. Near perfect. So if there's any contract in any state in which you serve, and you're like, yeah, I don't really, there's a lot of Latin. I'm joking. You know, we can't sort of meander our way through because what if you're at the kitchen table and you've got the paperwork out? Let's say you have the paperwork out. I know most of you are probably doing it on your MacBook or your iPad or whatever, but let's say you have the physical paperwork in front of you. And sometimes people do that, but then they have people sign digitally. I'm getting off track. Welcome to the show. And what if a client said, well, what does that mean? And you couldn't answer it. Today's your day to go find out from the Jason Westcott. So again, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, contracts happening in Portsmouth or on the Zooms at kellertv.com. Now at noon o'clock, once you're done with contracts or having your conversations in KW Breakthrough Club, where we do our lead gen, we've got the midday protocol. That's on the Zooms. You join us in the Breakthrough Club room at 12 o'clock. We're going to have a conversation about what you did insofar as conversations and appointments and agreements signed. That's our dash of accountability. That's why we have that every day. So you can lean into your numbers and make sure that you are tracking those vital numbers. Those are lead indicators on where you are in your pipeline. And our pipeline is all of the things. This is why we talk about being 90 days out from September 22nd, because that's the pipeline. What do you have going on in the next 90 days? It's important. I promise you it's important. That's why we talk about it. If you're in Meredith at 12 noon, we've got a lunch and learn for the 1031 exchange lunch and learn. We're feeding you. We're teaching you. That goes until 1 o'clock. Then at 1 o'clock, the Samantha Catterall from the 2026 Associate Leadership Council will be delivering roadmaps. So what are roadmaps? We've been doing these for a couple of years now. Maps for Keller, for Big Keller, for Texas Keller, MAPS stands for Mega Achievement Productivity Systems. It's the educational arm of our company. I stole it. And we're calling roadmaps. Roadmaps basically are mega agent presentations, which is what today is, or mega agent panels. So our mega agent presentation today for roadmaps is the listing presentation. That's happening with Samantha Catterall. That's happening in person in Meredith right after the 1031 Lunch and Learn. So there's your roadmap for the day. There's all the things that are available. And what we need to understand is you might look at the calendar, certainly on a Wednesday, because our mornings are jammed with all the contracts. And we historically have CEUs or something going on somewhere after the fact, or there's an all partners meeting. You have to take stock in the fact that contracts are Wednesday. And I would say that's the one day that you need to make sure your face is available for that conversation. Going to contracts for 6 months during your freshman year and then being like, I'm good. You can do that. People do it. And then things get away from them. So Wednesdays, paramount that you figure out, hey, where does my face need to be this Wednesday because of these states are being taught the contracts, and I'm going to go hang out with Jason so I know what I'm talking about. And the benefit of being in the room is not like, well, okay, it's Jason. He left off here. We're going over that again. You might be going over a section of the contract that you've gone over 100 times. And yes, you have Jason on speed dial, 603-234-2589. Who doesn't? He's brilliant. And the challenge for you to work through in your brain is there will be different people in the room this week. Different questions will come up. Different scenarios will come up. And Jason can speak to those. Wednesday should always be on your calendar as sacred space. There's my 4 cents. Lots of learning going on today. I want to make sure everybody understands that we have a lot of things that happen over and over and over again. We get some repeat offender classes. And you have to figure out today, like, what needs to be important for you. I would say contracts are. Do you make it to the 1031 exchange? Do you have to be at that class? No. Is it there? Yes. Is it happening again in Portsmouth on Friday? Absolutely. Roadmaps. Do you want to go see Samantha Catterall talk about her listing presentation? If you're in the Meredith area and you don't have a date at 1 o'clock, you do now. That would be my recommendation. We're going to keep delivering classes like this that are important, that we know: buyer presentations, listing presentations, absorption. Business planning clinic coming up tomorrow. That's our halftime business planning clinic. A chance for you to sort of be like, okay, it's almost the 4th of July. Where do I stand in relationship to my goals for 2026? What did I want this to look like? Where am I? And what could I possibly adjust? That's why we do it. So join us for that. That will be in person tomorrow here in Portsmouth. We will feed you. Maybe we'll have an open bar. Probably not. But it's just a chance to wrap your arms around the Red Book, right? And the models, right? The economic model, the lead gen model, the budget model, the organizational model. We're going to use ChatGPT to help us build our goals, because that's a thing now. You're probably already doing that, but I'll show you a way in which you can do that that makes it a little bit easier, because we used to sit and consternate about, like, my 411, my GPS. And now you can take and you can upload your KPA and you can upload your disc and say, based on who I am and what I want to do, how should I do it? And that gets you into activity more efficiently, which gets you into profitability more efficiently, which is why we're here. If I can help with anything, please let me know. It is 603-834-2856. You can also book my face at meetwithcoach.com. I'll see you in and around the Market Center and the internet. Enjoy the day.